Hey there. Welcome to episode 15 of the Rugged Angel podcast. This episode, we are continuing our Pittsburgh 48-hour film project edition. What is the Pittsburgh 48-hour film project, you ask? Well, it is a filmmaking challenge. Every year for the last 9 years here in Pittsburgh, we have been challenging filmmakers to make a 4 to 7 minute film in 48 hours. We give them a prop, a line of dialogue, a character, a genre, and the 48 hours to make that film, and then they give us a film back in time to screen it at the Hollywood Theater the following week. So if this kind of thing excites you, if you're interested in making a film, or if you just want to watch the films, go to 48hourfilm.com/Pittsburgh and check out for more information. You can also like the Facebook page, the Pittsburgh 48-Hour Film Project, to stay in the loop of everything that's going on. You can also follow us on Twitter at Pittsburgh48HFP. In other news, I recently signed up for Nerd Block, which is a toy subscription box service. They send you a mystery box full of themed nerd gear every month, and it starts at $13.99, and you just get like Comic-Con in a box every month. And this month, June, is my first one to receive, and I'm going to go through it and let you know what's in this box. We've got a Mr. Bean bendable figure. We've got a teddy bear that's a Mr. Bean teddy bear. So I think that Mr. Bean had a bear in the movie or something. I never watched any Mr. Bean in my life, so I don't know. There's also a Doctor Who Titans vinyl figure of the 10th Doctor. It's pretty cool. Pretty well done. I think most Whovians would dig that. There's also a Doctor Who art print, an exclusive print that will delight any Doctor Who fan, says the little card in the Nerd Block box. I do not watch Doctor Who. I've never seen Doctor Who, so that doesn't really apply to me. Also, we have Monty Python, the Holy Grail of Magnetic Poetry. Bunch of cool spam, Spanish Inquisition, parrot, that kind of stuff about Monty Python. Monty Python? Yeah, that's right. So that's cool. That'll be fun. I can dig that. But what I'm most psyched about is this really cool Sherlock t-shirt that's got bored spray painted over top the Sherlock wallpaper with a happy face in it. If you're down with Sherlock, then I think you might know what that's about. So right there, the t-shirt alone was totally worth the box for me. Now, why do you care what is in my Nerd Block box? Well, my loss is going to be your gain. I am going to give away this Doctor Who gear, the Doctor Who Titan vinyl figure, as well as the Doctor Who art print, because I don't need it, and I know there's somebody out there that'll appreciate it 5,000 times more than I will. So what I want you to do, I want you to follow _Rugged Angel on Twitter, and I want you to tweet to me a reason why I should watch Doctor Who, why I should start watching Doctor Who. I've never seen an episode. Everybody tells me I should, but I want to hear from you, and I want you to hashtag it, get to know who. So tweet _Rugged Angel, one reason why I should watch Doctor Who, hashtag it, get to know who. And we'll let this run until June 28th, Sunday at 10 p.m. And I'll also post photos of what this stuff looks like at ruggedangel.com, as well as on my Twitter, and probably on the Rugged Angel Productions Facebook page. So Nerd Block, if you're listening, you guys are unofficially sponsoring this episode of the Rugged Angel podcast. Now, speaking of this episode of the Rugged Angel podcast, once again, it is the Pittsburgh 48-Hour Film Project edition continued. This week, I talked to Lindsay Edder of Falling October Productions. She's a very young lady who I found to be extremely fun to talk to. We ran a little bit over, which is cool. It happens sometimes. Also, my dogs kind of make a special appearance with their barking and some tap dancing in the background, so apologies for that. But Lindsay, we have a nice chat. We go over her love for Doctor Who, photography, and filmmaking, and we also discuss the lack of cult classic cinema that she has experienced. Sometimes it just boggles my mind when people are not as well versed in pop culture as I am. But then again, we all have our areas. I've never seen Doctor Who, and I'm asking you guys to tell me why I should. So let's get into it. But before we do, words of wisdom. The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. Ayn Rand. Okay, Lindsay Edder.
Yes.
Welcome to the Rugged Angel podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming over. I'm sorry again for making you walk the extra couple blocks.
Like I said, I needed it. So.
But now you know where the open auditions will be.
Yes, now I know where Slaughterhouse Galleries
you guys
is.
were going to come out there for that.
Yeah, I could direct my crew. Like, guys, I know where we gotta go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Nice. Okay, so yes, this is the special Pittsburgh 48-hour film project edition. And so I'm here to get to know you. I want to know who you are. So let's start. We don't have to start all the way back, but just give me like a little rundown of like who you are. What
It all started on a snowy Valentine's Day, 1990. No,
Holy cats! Are you telling me you were born 1990?
yes.
Oh my god! It's like freshman year in high school for me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm over it. All right, so 1990. Okay, so tell me about Lindsay. Where do you come from? Are you originally from Pittsburgh? Or?
I am born and raised from Pittsburgh. I've lived in the West End my entire life.
Okay.
The house that I live in right now, actually, with my family, is the house that my mother grew up in.
Oh, really?
As a child, yeah. My house is like 110 years old.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I grew up, went through Pittsburgh public schools, went to Chatham University for social work.
Cool.
And now I work at a bank. Completely irrelevant, I know.
Well, you got to pay the bill somehow.
Exactly. And I mean, that's pretty much what my job at PNC Bank is right now, is just a means to an end until I kind of figure out my next move in life.
Well, yeah. What did you study in Chatham?
I went for social work. But while I was at Chatham, I did take a film photography class.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably one of my favorite classes that I took while I was there, and which kind of solidified my interest in, I mean, I had an interest in photography prior to when I did take that class. It kind of just, I knew, I was like, this is more so what I would like to do with my life.
Yeah.
But instead of changing at that point, I decided, I'm already far along in my degree. I might as well finish it up.
Yeah.
So, don't want to waste time or money, especially considering how expensive school is. So
Yeah, seriously.
I was like, at least let me get the degree, and you know what? I'll figure things out from there.
Yeah. How long ago did you graduate?
I graduated in 2012,
Okay.
so about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Wow. Can't believe it's been 3 years already.
It creeps up on you. Like you never really know. Yeah, it's so bizarre how time works.
Yeah.
So have you done anything like social work wise, or have you decided that you don't want to?
Unfortunately, when I graduated from Chatham, it was a little difficult trying to find a job within that field. It surprisingly, because it's such a broad field, and with an undergraduate degree in social work, it's a very general knowledge base kind of study. So, you can start pretty much anywhere. The more specialized stuff requires, a master's degree and so on and so forth.
Okay.
But I was just not having any luck at finding a job, and that's when a friend of mine suggested, try looking outside of that field, and that's how I stumbled upon, PNC, and they had openings, and I went for it, and they liked me enough that they hired me. So that's where I've been for the last 2.5 years.
Okay.
Just
Well, at least you're not a starving artist.
right. Not saying there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Some days I think I'd actually prefer it. But
It's tough. It's a really tough mindset to get into, just to be like, okay, I am willing and mentally and emotionally able to like suffer and like go without a lot of things just to
Yeah.
be able to set my own path, really.
yeah.
But okay, so you said you already had an interest in photography.
Yes.
From how far back? Where?
I think that might have started my junior year in high school. I took my first film photography class at Manchester Craftsmen's Guild.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
where I work.
That's an awesome place. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And I think that's what got me started in photography. It kind of fell by the wayside as I progressed through the rest of high school and got into college. And then, like I said, I picked back up again on the film photography class that I took at Chatham. And
Gotcha.
it kind of just went from there.
Is there any particular type of photography that you prefer? Like your subject matter, your black and white color, digital film?
That's tough. I enjoy film. I enjoy the aesthetic of film, but I'm not good at it. So I get frustrated with it. So I tend to do more digital photography. I am a black and white fanatic, and I originally started off doing portraiture. I would do a lot of shoots for friends and family members. Like my sister and her husband wanted to do Christmas photos one year, and they're like, "Hey, Lindsay, you got that nice Nikon over there. You want to hook a sister up?" I was like, yeah. So I did photos for her. I did photos for high school friends. I did some maternity photos,
cool.
just couples photos, and I enjoyed it. But I am realizing now, as I continue working in photography, that I more so enjoy fine art photography.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really all that creative, but that's the genre of photography that I thoroughly enjoy and something that I would like to work towards to get better at.
Nice. So are you taking any classes right now, or are you doing any freelance work?
Not currently taking classes. I would like to. It's in the future plans. Freelance work, actually, myself and my friend Alex, who's also part of Falling October Productions, my team, in this year's 48-hour film project. We just did 2 weddings back in May, like back to back. He did video work and I did photography for a wedding on Sunday, and then we turned around and that Saturday we shot. I was the main photographer and he was my second shooter.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I'm still editing those photos.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot. I do freelance. I not as much as I used to, but I used to do weddings, photography and video, and it's such an ordeal. And I don't have it in me to do that anymore. But it's a special person who can power through that, and just being able to. It's just a lot. It's a long day to be, and it's plus it's a lot of pre and post preparation and wrap up, and
oh yeah,
it's a lot. Okay, so speaking of Falling October Productions, that is the name of your team.
Yes.
And how many projects have you participated in? 3?
Yes, we did 48-hour 2013, 2014, and then the 2014 horror project.
Gotcha. And first up, tell me about the team. Like, are you basically the same team that you've been working with?
Oh yeah. Okay. It kind of started out. Funny story. Falling October Productions originally started as like a high school garage band.
Oh, okay. This will be fun.
Yeah. So Alex, as I mentioned before, I went to high school with him, and 2 of our other members, Josh Ijems and Chauncey James, we all went to high school together, and those 3, and there were 2 other crew members, I believe, started Falling October when we were in high school. Just a band. I know they played at like the school talent show. They played some outside shows. just having fun, jamming out.
Right.
And so once we graduated high school and we got into college, Alex actually went to Duquesne University. He's going to kill me. I don't remember his specific major, but essentially went into digital media because he's really big into videography. He's
Okay.
our actual main cameraman.
Okay.
He's like team lead, cameraman, director.
That's the kid with like the dark hair, the floppy
Yes,
hair. Okay.
yes. Floppy hair. He's gonna love this when he hears this. Yes.
Hi, Alex.
That's him. He started making videos with our other friend Chauncey, and he's our main sound technician for Falling Octobers. And so they just started making silly videos just for the heck of it. And, you know, we would all watch them, and I was like, this looks like a lot of fun. Like, I want to get in on this. And that's, you know, Josh got in on it, I got in on it, and then we started kind of building, you know, ideas like, you know, we enjoy this creative kind of work. You know, what if we could do this full time, you know, for a living, for our lives? And we're all just like, that's the ultimate dream right there. So Falling October turned into Falling October Productions, and we continued making silly videos, but we've also done some promotional work. Alex is actually in the process of making training videos for Permanis.
Excellent.
And my brother-in-law, who actually just recently got involved with our group, he's making safety training videos for his job too.
Awesome.
So
You guys are well on your way.
yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah, this is just like a couple of like small steps, but still, like I would imagine, like no more than 5 years from now, you guys will be able to just do this full time.
That is what we're aiming for.
So where does the name Falling October come from? Like it was originally the band, but where does it originate?
Again, Alex is going to kill me for not knowing this. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like it's something that a couple of teenage boys just thought of, and they're
Right.
like, this sounds cool.
Words, put them together. It's all right. This is awesome.
I'm pretty sure that's where the name comes from.
Yeah, exactly. You know, i.e. Blink 182 or, you know, whatever.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody knows what I'm sure. I don't know. They couldn't know what it means. But so what is your role and your main role in the production team?
Well, we all wear a lot of different hats because of how tiny we are. I know at least for the last 48 hours, 3, I should say, I've been in front of the camera, I've acted, I've had really small parts by my choice. I've helped with lighting design, you know, set design, setting up, tearing down. I've was also, they called me the secretary of the group. Okay. Because I kept everything organized, all the paperwork. There's so much paperwork involved with the 48-hour film project. And I was like, no one else touch this. This is mine. I will keep a hold of this. I will keep it organized. And so that was my main role.
It's the best way to do it. You just need one person to do it.
Because our first one that we did, we were losing paperwork left and right. It was between me, Josh, and I think one other person was trying to help handle the paperwork. And at one point I was like, stop, everyone, give me every single piece of paper that you have. I'm taking this over. This is my job now.
Good woman. You gotta put your foot down.
You gotta do it. And also, I guess technically kind of a location scout. At least I know with the last 2 that we did, and thinking of, you know, we have Jared, who's our writer, and he's creating the script, and, you know, we all brainstorm on the scenes, and I'm just like, I know the perfect place to film that. I know the perfect place to film that scene.
Oh, that's excellent.
So, yeah, having a vast knowledge of the city of Pittsburgh does come in handy.
Very helpful. And so you just mentioned that you prefer being behind the camera.
I do prefer. I prefer being behind the camera. I don't mind being in front of it, especially with the last 3 that we've done. They're just very like small, non-speaking parts.
Okay. Sometimes you just need another body and frame.
You just need like someone there. You need someone there to look intimidating. That's what I've done in the last 3. So.
Do you have any formal like video training or?
No.
So this is all you've been basically learning as you go? Well, that's great.
And just pick it up as we go.
Is there anything in particular that you like to gravitate towards more, like writing or the location scouting or actual camera work?
Really enjoy the location scouting. I think that just comes from my general interest in traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, not that Pittsburgh's, it's not like we're traveling to a different state to go film something,
No.
but I just enjoy being out and finding interesting areas that we can film, whether it's filming something for the 48-hour film project or thinking in my mind like this would be a cool spot for any future filming projects that we do.
Right.
So I really enjoy that.
Also, the photographic eye, your photographer eye,
Yes,
helps
it
with
does
that.
help. Yeah, it definitely, I've realized it does definitely help. Camera work I've always been interested in, but it's a little bit tough trying to switch between like photography mode into videography mode. So I'm just like, Alex, it's all you. Have at it, man.
Do you enjoy editing at all, or do you get involved in that? Who does your?
Alex also edits. He just doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep at all during the 48-hour film project. We're actually convinced that he might be a robot because every time we never see him sleep. We don't.
That's so bizarre.
Maybe it's while we're sleeping. He's just like sneaky about it. Like, all right, I'm going to catch a cat nap while no one can see me sleeping. Just like perpetuate this idea that I just don't sleep ever.
So you do guys like set up a base camp as to where like everybody's just there for,
Yep.
you guys are together for those 48 hours.
Yep.
Just the whole time.
Yep, HQ. We all stay there. We all sleep there. We all not shower there.
Yeah. So tell me about your first year participating. Like,
So much
first of all,
fun.
how did you find out about it?
That's a good question. Because Alex was the one who brought it up. He was just like, guys, look at this film project. It sounds fun. It sounds interesting. We should try it. And, we all looked into the details and we're like, heck yes, this sounds awesome. Let's do it. So I don't know if he found out about it online, word of
Gotcha.
mouth, but Alex was the one who brought it to our attention.
Excellent.
And so the first year, oh man, we had no idea what to expect. And we tried to like pre-plan as best as possible, knowing that we're not going to know exactly what we're going
Right.
to be filming until it starts.
But there's still a lot of things that you can plan out.
Oh yeah, there's still
beforehand.
definitely a lot of things, and we just kind of we just rolled with the punches. We're just like, we don't know what to expect, so you know what, let's just let it happen as it happens. And finally when we understood everything, like, okay, here's our character, line of dialogue, prop and genre, and all right, we have until this time to drop off our movie. Let's get down to it. And thankfully, my one friend Jane, who was involved, she created like a master schedule. She's like, all right, from this time is writing.
Excellent.
And we'll take like 20 minutes here to eat. And then from this time to this time, we'll be filming only. And then, you and you, this is your scheduled nap time while everyone else is
That's
setting
wonderful.
up for the next scene. Or, we'll start editing. And then, from this time to this, and just like so on and so forth. And she just like created this perfect master schedule.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
It was brilliant, and we've actually just kind of been following that mold for the last, 2 that we did.
That's a great idea.
It helps a
Like,
lot.
hear that, guys? Like, if you guys are out there, you should like think about creating a master schedule, because that thought never occurred to me.
Yes.
Like, I would always be more general, like, okay, we'll write on Friday, film on Saturday, edit on Sunday.
Oh no, we have it
But-
broken down to times.
That's one of the more well organized. I think that's the first time I've heard that. I mean,
Really?
I don't know if I don't get to talk to everybody or
Right.
most people, but yeah, that's the first time I've heard somebody tell me that. Yeah, we've got a breakdown of a master schedule
yeah.
for the weekend.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, and it does help because, when you're working under such a tight time constraint, and I mean, we also allotted extra time in case things went wrong.
And that's key also. That's like pad your schedule.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, okay, we've got sleep, eat, shoot, and editing time down, so that gives us like an extra, hour and a half in case anything goes wrong. We've got some spare time, and It's definitely come in handy.
Did you? Yeah, I know there was one year I recall. I believe Alex was at the drop off with the laptop, like trying to, like the finishing burning or rendering or something.
That's been every time.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I know that it's very clear to me that I've seen him at drop off with the laptop, just waiting for something to complete.
That has been every single time. Yeah, we've like. We have a set time too that we're like, all right, we need to leave precisely at this time to get to drop off to make it there on time. And I mean, we have a driver for him, so he's in the car, he's still on the laptop, rendering on the way there, and then we get there and he's still going. And I mean, it's funny, you don't know how things are going to turn out. I mean, for as well planned as our master schedule was, I mean, the last year, the 2014 48-hour film project, we turned in our film, like we handed you guys the jump drive, I think like 30 seconds before you called it quits. That was I don't think my heart has ever raced faster in my life. I don't know if I've sweat more at any point in my life than when we were just waiting for this movie to finish rendering.
You guys have been on time every year though, right?
Yes.
Or every one, all three.
Yes.
You've been on time.
Thankfully. Surprisingly, but thankfully.
Kudos to you for that. Do you remember what your genre was that first year?
First year was Mistaken Identity.
Okay.
I believe.
Yours wasn't the one where there was a guy running around with green hair.
No.
Was it? Okay.
No, yeah, I'm almost positive our genre that year was Mistaken Identity.
Okay.
And then our second time was,
I remember you guys, the second one was the mannequin.
Yes. Mannequin Love.
Yes.
I think we had comedy for that one. I'm not 100% sure.
I feel like it may have been romance with how heavy the...
I don't know. I don't know if it was romance. I think we just kind of ended it up writing it that way. It could have been. I'm not remembering very well. And I just remember for the horror one we had Carnival Freak Show Funhouse. That was a fun genre.
Oh yeah. I don't think I really remember what your film was for that one.
It was called Faux House.
Oh, okay. Yes, I remember that now. It's all it's all starting to come together.
I mean, come on, it's not like you view 30, 40 some odd films in one sitting.
Yeah, after a while they all start to run together. So if I do remember something of your film, like even if it's just a title, like you've done something right.
That's good. Yeah,
because that's usually how I know you guys. It's team name or something in your film. I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing you in that film or this film or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there have been a couple of times I've been wearing a t-shirt, a 48-hour t-shirt, and someone will spot me on the street and like, oh, hey, we participate. And I'm like searching their face. And then they'll say something. I was like, oh yeah, you were that.
Oh, I remember you now.
Yes. So yeah, it's tough. Okay. So do you have any advice for anybody that would be participating for the first time?
Other than having a master schedule, if possible, because it really does help. It's funny because for as much information that you have to wait until the proper time to get, such as like your genre and the character name and all that, there is still a lot of pre-planning you can do, and it definitely does help, and it definitely is key. We even just for ourselves, we were discussing amongst ourselves like, okay, well, we're gonna need snacks and we're gonna need beverages to keep going
right
for 48 hours. Like, who are we designating this responsibility to?
Who was craft services?
Yes. Who's catering this? So even just that, because I know our first year, not that lack of food or beverages really affected us, but we were just at odd hours. We're just like, man, I'm kind of hungry, but I don't think we can order a pizza at 4 a.m. what else do we have to eat, guys?
Right. It's like, well, I've got some Triscuits and
So really, pre-planning as much as possible, it does help.
yeah, because you could definitely like location scouting. What are some places we could possibly shoot? Like
That for
getting
sure.
any sort of like rando costumes that you might need or might have, or just
Also, just ask as many people as possible if they will be in your film.
right.
Because that's how it always ends up, is you tell someone, you know, oh, I'm participating in this, and we can always use more bodies, and so many people get so excited about it. And then we're like, okay, well, we might need you at, 2:30 on a Friday morning. And that's when the excitement goes away. And they're like, actually, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I think I'm bathing my dog at that time. I'm sorry. So just ask as many people as you can.
Right, because it's tough to find people quite as hardcore as the 48-hour film project participants who are like in it for the 48 hours, or even just in it for weird hours. Because most people that like your actors, you're not going to need them the whole time.
No, exactly. And I mean that's another thing we were planning too. Is okay, when do we want to have, our first curtain call? When do we want to have the majority of our actors, there? Because we start filming, if possible, Friday night into the wee hours of Friday morning.
Oh wow!
Continue filming into Saturday, and then we try to keep the wee hours of Saturday into Sunday for editing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are serious about not sleeping.
Yeah, no, we don't. If we can help it, we don't sleep.
What are some things that you have learned specifically while doing this project? If about yourself, or a skill set, or about your teammates?
That I love my teammates dearly. Honestly, though, I mean, how many people would really want to hang around you at 3:00 in the morning? You smell like stale sweat because this always goes on in July. It's the hottest time of the year, and we don't even factor in time to sleep, let alone shower.
Right.
So
You're lucky if if it rains and you step outside in it to get rinsed off.
Exactly. And just deal with, mood swings can happen. And these guys are still, at the end of it all, they're like, you know what? I still like you. We could still be friends.
That's beautiful. To be able to do that, to know that you've got that kind of relationship and you've got that kind of team, that friendship, as to where you guys know that it's not personal. It's like, I may call you a motherfucker, but it doesn't mean I hate you. It just means my blood sugar was low.
Yeah, it just means I really needed a Red Bull and maybe a 15-minute nap. I'm sorry, I didn't mean those things.
Right. Sorry, your mother is a wonderful person. I don't know what kind of came over me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I really love about my team, is that we are friends first. We try to be professional. Keyword there is try. And stay focused and stay on task and just keep moving forward and keep throwing out ideas. But, in the end, we do prioritize our friendship first. And thankfully, we're a bunch of really laid back people. We don't really have any aggressive personality types in our group.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So, Jared, I can pose an idea to him and he can look at me and say, that's the stupidest idea I've heard. That's dumb. We're not doing it. I'll be like, okay, Jared, it's fine.
Good point.
We're still friends. You know what? You're right. That is kind of dumb. But we're still friends. That's okay.
Do you write on your own, just for your own pleasure? Do you write any storylines or ideas, scripts?
I wrote one. It was actually the third part of a trilogy that we're trying to make.
Oh.
If I can actually English.
Words.
Yeah. I was at work one day and not focusing on my work. And
we've all done that.
We already created one video. It's silly, but I love it, and it's one of our favorite videos that we've created. It's called Batman Drunk Dials Superman.
Okay.
So
Tell me more.
I'm
pretty sure it's all in the. That's what it
is.
is.
It's all in the title. It's something Jared came up with, and he actually created the sequel to it. We haven't filmed it yet. We're still working on it, but it is written. And one day I was at work, and I was just like, I don't know what, just like thunderstrike of inspiration just came down from the heavens, and I just got this idea, and I just started writing it, and there was Batman Drunk Dial Superman #3.
Excellent. And you guys have these up online, or
We
the one?
have the one, yes, up on YouTube.
Okay,
So
and it's just titled.
It's just titled.
Is there
Batman.
a Falling October Productions channel?
There is, yes, there is a Falling October's Productions channel.
Excellent. So guys, be sure to look at that. I'm definitely going to look that up because it sounds hilarious.
I like it. I think it's funny. We have a lot of, like I said, we just have a lot of silly videos that just, just came from the darkest crevices of our mind that we were like, this sounds funny, or this sounds interesting, let's make it.
That's where a lot of the best ideas come from. You just you got it in your head, and now get it on paper, and now get it on camera, on film. You're good. Are there more? Is there a certain genre you like that you gravitate towards, that you prefer?
We enjoy the horror genre. We also, Jared is just witty, sarcastic son of a Bandersnatch. I love him.
Son of a Bandersnatch. That's a good one.
So he just comes up with a lot of just like really hilarious things, and again, which we're still working on filming. It's tough working with so many different work schedules.
Right.
So when we get together, we try to film things. So a lot of the stuff that's on our channel is just like comedic. There are a few serious, more geared towards the horror genre. I think we have more silly things than serious things on our channel right now.
Well, you personally, like, what would be your favorite genre?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would have to go with horror, as lame as that sounds. As typical as that sounds.
No. So you prefer you like a lot of horror films, or?
I do. I'm not. It's funny, involved in, I wouldn't say filmmaking itself, but with Falling October Productions and creating different videos and short films, I'm not very well versed in movies. Constantly people are just like, oh, have you ever seen this great American cult classic? And I'm just like, no, and then I get crucified.
Oh no.
all my friends, and my friends are surprised every single time when I say I've never seen something. And I'm just like, you know me, right?
Well,
how many times have we gone over this? I'm not a movie buff.
You're good. Wait, whoa. Okay. So you're not a movie buff, not that, you just don't like sitting and watching movies. It's just there's movies you haven't gotten around to watching or seeing. A lot of things way before you were born, 1990. It's yes, you guys have got to cut her some slack for that. You've only been on this earth
for 25 years.
Right. And most of, I guess, the greater horror cult classic films were hell before you were even thought of. So what you're going to have to do now is every time this happens, you're going to have to keep a journal, and you're going to have to write down every film or whatever that. And
Jared has already written me a list.
Oh, okay.
He's like, this is your list of movies that you
homework.
must watch. Oh yeah.
What are a couple of them on that list?
They're not specific to any genre. I know, The Big Lebowski was on there.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
I feel like that probably came out the year you were born. I could be wrong.
Oh, there was, I know Matchstick Men was on there, which I did watch.
Sam Rockwell, and
yeah.
I just watched that again the other day. I love Sam Rockwell.
I really enjoyed that movie.
It was really good.
But no, I've gotten yelled at by many people because I have yet to actually sit through and finish movies such as Jaws. I've never seen Jurassic Park, which has caused a lot of controversy with the new
Like recently, I'm
with
sure.
the new Jurassic World that's come out, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Jurassic World!" And here's me like, "Do you need to see Jurassic Park to understand
1 through 3?
Jurassic World? Am I gonna miss things if I go see this movie?" And that's when people realize I've never seen Jurassic Park, and then they proceed to crucify me.
Oh, poor thing. So have you gone to see Jurassic World, or
Not
are
yet.
you?
I do
Are your
want
friends
to.
like you are not allowed to go see it until you
You've
sit there
been
1
banned.
through 3?
Not allowed. No one has banned me from the movie theaters as of yet, so that's good. I do want to see Jurassic World. I am kind of interested in it.
I feel like you should at least watch the first one.
That's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen Jurassic World yet, and
I've just heard Jurassic Park is a must-see because of
but do you like
Jeff
those type
Goldblum.
of? Oh, he's amazing. Like, he's another one. Like, I just love Jeff Goldblum so much. Like, I'll watch almost anything with him in
and
it.
his quote-unquote shiny torso. I've gotten this from friends. And of course I don't understand the reference because I've never seen the movie.
Well, would you go see it anyway? Like, is that the type of movie that you would go see anyway?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Jaws. I feel like that's on like Spike or AMC or something like
it's
every
on
other
TV.
week. And I think this is like the 35th anniversary or something right now. So it's like being re-released in theaters. So
Yes.
good for you. So you
yes.
can see it in its natural glory
Yeah.
of like ginormous sharks.
Jared has already told me. He's like, "Lindsay, this is being re-released in movie theaters. I'm taking you.
Okay.
You don't get an option. There's no choice in this.
This has to happen.
I'm just taking you after work one day."
Now see, this is, I'm trying really hard not to judge you and crucify you. I've already been through this. Like, my husband is like, he's like a pop culture idiot. Like, so he spent like 10 years of his adult life without television or by choice. And, when we got together, I'm like, why would you do that? I don't understand. So, like, the beginning of our courtship was me, like, giving him entire seasons of Friends. Like, you need to watch all of this before you won't understand any of my jokes. So, there's like, you need to watch all these movies. So, I've been through this education
Regimen.
thing before. Yes. So, I'm really trying hard.
I'm getting more homework.
Reservoir Dogs. Have you seen that? Okay. Okay.
It's on my list.
That's fine.
I'm actually almost positive it's on the list
Okay.
Jared gave me.
What I would like to do then, because I have another podcast called Down to Watch where we just talk about movies.
Okay.
What I'd like to do is get you, like, you tell me your list, and then we'll pick one of those movies, and I will have you on that podcast, and we can talk
Alright.
about that after you've watched it.
That sounds
Because this,
fantastic.
this is also very interesting because, you've got fresh eyes. It's like, and I'm sure like a lot of these movies, you probably already know what the, any spoilers or
Basic, yeah.
endings and,
Yeah.
you know what to expect and blah, blah, blah. But just to sit through the 2 hours and figure out, this is just so fascinating to me. It's always very fascinating to find out because I guess I was just like just really into film and TV growing up. And, since I've got like a good 15 years on you. So I
don't believe
there was
it.
a lot. There was a lot I had to do. There's a lot of TV watch. Princess Bride. Have you seen that?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Oh God, that was.
I think if I answered no to that, you might have actually like sicked your dogs on me.
Just shut everything down. Just like
You'd be
that's
like,
enough.
You know what? We're done.
You're gonna have to go. I just
Please
can't.
get out of my house. Please go.
I can't believe I allowed you in here. This is outrageous.
Actually, you know what? You're just banned from the 48-hour film project. Please don't show your face around me.
Alex, you're gonna have to get rid of her.
Alex, sorry. You're just gonna have to find someone to replace your location scout
Exactly. Oh.
immediately.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with the top 5.
Sweet.
So If you're listening to this podcast, then you probably already know what the Pittsburgh 48-Hour Film Project is, so I'm not going to bore you with all those details again. But if you haven't decided if you want to participate yet, or if you have decided and you've already signed up and you have a team, but you're still looking for actors, or you are an actor and you're looking for a team to join, you should join us at our meet and greet open auditions this Saturday on June 27th from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. What we're going to do is I'm going to allow all of you actors to prepare a 3-minute monologue or introduction of yourself or performance or whatever you need to do to get those teams to look at you. You can prepare 3 minutes of that to get on the stage and do what you need to do. You can also bring resumes and headshots. That will be helpful, but they're not necessary. Teams, you just come in and have a seat and enjoy the mini performances. Afterwards, you'll have time to chat up with the actors and see who would like to join your team or vice versa. Actors, you'll get a chance to talk to the team members and see if you want to join their teams. Blah, blah, blah. So this is going on, once again, on June 27th, this Saturday, from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Slaughterhouse Galleries and Studios at 5136 Butler Street, Pittsburgh, PA 15201. For more information, you can email me at pittsburgh@48hourfilm.com, or you can get at me on Facebook at the Pittsburgh 48-Hour Film Project. How about Lost Boys? Have you seen Lost Boys?
I've seen bits and pieces of it thanks to my sister.
Is your sister older?
Yes, she's older. And she loves Lost Boys. That was the thing growing up. My sister was the one who would just like sit down and just watch movies, and I had to be in the mood for it. I couldn't just like sit and just pop in a movie at any given time. I had to just be like in the movie watching mood.
That's how my younger sister is. She does the same thing. Yeah, there's a lot of movies she hasn't seen, or she'll be just like, I don't like movies. I don't want to go to them. I'm like, I don't understand. What do you mean you don't want to go to the movies?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy going to the movies, hanging out with friends. Someone's like, we're going to do movie night. I'm all about that. It's just myself, I would just rather spend the time, I don't know, on the internet watching cat videos. That's my thing is YouTube. I enjoy YouTube a lot. I follow a lot of YouTubers. So that was always kind of my thing as opposed to movies.
So is it like YouTube, a lot of the webisodes or web series or like vloggers?
Vloggers. I'm big into personal vloggers. One of my all-time favorite being Olin Rogers.
I'm not familiar.
He's it's funny, he has a very large fan base, but he's not very well known on YouTube. But his stories and the way he tells these stories are just hilarious, and his like personality just shines through. You could just tell he's just this genuine, happy, awesome human being, and that's primarily why I like watching the more personal vloggers on YouTube, because some of them are really good at, you're watching this person on your screen, but you can still feel connected to them. And Olin does a really good job at that.
That's really cool. That's I guess it's just another generational difference, because I mean I haven't. There are a couple vloggers, I guess, that I would follow or I pay attention to, but still it's not like something that the first thing I go to, kind of thing. And it's really interesting just to be able to know like someone like that who not very many people know him by name, but obviously he connects with you and however many other subscribers he has, and that's really good. What's his name again?
Olin Rogers.
Olin Rogers.
Yes.
Is there any particular like I hate to say shtick, but does he have like a specific subject matter, or is it just like all over the board? Or
it's more so he does actually make like short little films. He actually did I guess I don't want to call it a web series. It's only about like 4 or 5 episodes, but it was one of his bigger projects that he was working on back in 2012. It's called Pop Rocket. And it's it's set in the future, and I am very impressed by it in that he has very limited, resources editing wise, and he has these fantastic like landscapes and items that he's had to create and render in his own computer. Like, I don't know what computer program he had to use. Again, not being a videographer, I don't know. The programs one uses for special effects, like the one that he's created, but for being very low budget, small team of people to help him and to create this story was, like I said, it's just very impressive.
Huh. Well, shout out to Olin. All right, let's get into your top 5.
All right.
I decided to give Lindsay top 5 fandoms. I have been, these have been like coming around, and there's been a lot of discussion about fandoms in my world lately. Just, I guess, with Wizard World coming up here in Pittsburgh, and I was spending like a lot of, like last year, I was representing an actor who was going through a lot of conventions. So I was like going through a lot of conventions last year, and it was like probably this was like my first one. I don't know. I'd never been to one before or whatever. Like maybe a couple of years before that, but yeah. So I like got like a really like crash course in all of everything, like with these conventions and it's great. Like I absolutely love them. Like it's super cool, and I wish that something like that existed when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And and are you gonna go to Wizard World, or
I'm trying. I would like to.
is there anybody in particular you're looking forward to? Or is that on your fandom list?
No, it's not on my fandom list. I've not made it to
a convention.
I've definitely been to a convention. Speaking of YouTube, I've actually been to VidCon twice.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm going next month. So the weekend after the 48-hour film project, I'm leaving to fly out to California to attend VidCon.
And what's VidCon? Is that more video games, or am I just making things up?
No. VidCon, as I explain it to a lot of people, is like the Comic-Con of YouTube.
Oh.
So like all these YouTubers descend on the Anaheim Convention Center
for
one glorious weekend. And they have panels and, well, like most typical conventions,
but it's just mostly
signings.
Like YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Primarily YouTubers. And what's really interesting is that they have included a lot of Viners this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna mispronounce his name. I always call him King Bach, but I think it's King Batch.
Okay.
And I know he's a very popular personality on Vine, and he'll be at VidCon.
Wow.
Which is interesting to see from, these personalities coming from essentially a video making phone app and bringing them into the larger like media YouTube platform at VidCon. So
I mean, because a lot of those Vines, I'm not really into it, but I stumble upon them every now and again, and some of them are hilarious.
Oh yes.
It's some of the best comedy that I've ever seen,
especially when you only got 6 seconds,
right? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very impressive. So I'm excited to see who they bring.
Have you been to this VidCon before?
Yes, I went in 2013, 2014. And I'm going again this year. I'm so excited.
Is there like a group of you, and you guys are just
considering
your con buddies?
I wish. No, considering flying out to California and staying there, it can be a bit pricey. Not a lot of my friends make good enough money to really.
Yeah, you really have to want it.
You really have to want it, and I don't even know how I came upon it. I mean, VidCon's been going on since about 2011, I think, and last year was the first year I really heard about it. I was like, this sounds fantastic. I'm gonna go. Because why not?
Right.
Who knows if I'll ever get this chance again. And
turns out you've had it 2 other times.
I was saying, I made that chance last year and again this year. So my first 2 years actually I went by myself.
Oh,
Yeah, that was quite the adventure.
I'm sure. And it's also, but I mean, it's pluses and minuses. Like you can
Pluses and
totally see
minuses,
whatever
yeah.
you want to see.
Yes.
Like you don't have to stick to anybody else's schedule.
Yeah, don't have to stick to anybody else's schedule. Only person I had to worry about was myself. Didn't have to worry about losing anyone.
Right.
You know. But at the same time, when you're waiting in line for 2 hours to get into a signing and you really have to use the restroom.
You make friends fast.
Yeah, there is that, or you just suck it up and hold it in. Just do what you gotta do.
All right, let's get to your list.
My list, okay. So, not in any particular order, because there's just not enough... There's not enough room in my heart. I can't, choose favorites, because there are things that I've recently become obsessed with, and then there are things I've been obsessed with my entire life, i.e. Harry Potter. That is definitely a fandom that I am a part of and enjoy greatly.
What are they called? What are you guys called? Is it just Potters? What?
Potter?
What is the name of the school?
Hogwarts?
Hogwarts. Okay, so maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen any Harry Potter movie. Now it's your time to judge me.
I was about to say, and you're yelling at me for not seeing American cult classics that everyone knows and loves fondly.
Exactly. It's now a game at this point. I was just trying to figure out how long I can go without seeing one.
Now it's a competition.
Right.
Oh, that's fantastic. So Harry Potter for sure, which actually I exchanged that for something else that was on my list, because Harry Potter's been part of my life.
You read the books and then the movie?
Oh yeah. I just remember, being a kid, and it's funny, I received the first Harry Potter book as a gift from one of my teachers in elementary school. I mean, it came out in 98, 99.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been around for a while. And I remember starting to read it, and for some reason I just couldn't get into it. I don't know if it was just my small child ADD mind was not allowing me to.
You're what, 3rd grade, 4th grade?
About 3rd, 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So, not a lot of things really held my attention back then. Not like they do now, but, and then I remember the next year when the second book came out, and I mean, everyone was making hype about it.
Oh.
And that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should actually give this a shot. And I read through the first book and just instantly was in love and wanted everything to do with Harry Potter. And then of course read the second one, and then started the whole waiting anxiously for the next book, going to the events that they would have. It's not a movie premiere. I'm going to call it a book premiere anyways.
No, it seems about right.
Yeah,
I think that's what they do.
When they would find, I just remember being 14 years old and going to Barnes and Nobles at midnight for
wow,
the release of that next Harry Potter book.
And just standing in line, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Was it crazy? Or was it a long line?
It was, I would say definitely it was pretty long, but it's so exciting because you just see so many other people there, dressed up in, wizard robes and have Hogwarts colors, and everyone's holding their, the previous books, and you got your prop wands, and everyone is just in that moment, everyone is excited about the same thing. And you just find camaraderie in these complete strangers that you've never met before, you might never see again in your life, but in that magical moment
you guys can gush over the same thing.
you just bond over the same thing, and it was a lot of fun. So Harry Potter for sure was a big part of my life growing up, reading the books, and then when the movies came out, I nearly had a conniption when I learned they were making the first movie. I was so excited. I remember those days fondly. So much fun.
Nice. Okay, what's your next one?
Okay, next one would definitely, and this is a more recent obsession, would be Doctor Who. My best friend, she's been a Whovian since they rebooted
Whovian.
it. Yes, we're called Whovians. Since they kind of rebooted in 2005, so at that point I was 15, I was in high school. I wasn't really paying much attention to what was on TV at that point. I was more like into sports and extracurricular activities at school. Ain't nobody had time for TV shows. I had sporting events to go to.
What did you play?
Volleyball.
Okay.
Yeah, volleyball and soccer. So that took up a lot of time in my life. And then I was also involved in newspaper, yearbook, diversity club, book club,
busy. Oh my
musical,
goodness.
you name it. If my high school had it, I was in it.
You're a theater kid too?
Yes.
I was going to ask you that.
Yes.
So, not to stray too far. Okay, so you're a musical kid.
Oh,
Were
yeah.
you, so you sing?
Not
And
very
dance?
well. The thing about going to a small Pittsburgh public high school is that pretty much when you have a very small pool of people to choose from, you kind of take who you can get. So, I mean, I guess I can sing all right, or else, my musical director wouldn't have given me any singing parts. She was
Right.
like, just sway in the background, it's fine. But again, when you have such a limited amount of people to choose from, you can't. Beggars can't be choosers. So she worked with what she got, which is including me and all my like tall awkwardness and lumbering around on the stage. But I wouldn't trade it for a minute. I loved it. Josh and Alex were involved, and Chauncey were
Excellent.
involved in our school musicals too. So I've acted alongside of them. Alex and Chauncey, they did act in a few, but also did stage crew on the other ones. They were like, yeah, we're going to go behind the scenes now. Me and Josh were always on the stage. We're like, nah, we're going to get a spotlight.
I love it. Okay, so you are a Whovian.
I am a Whovian.
And your friend was into it first.
Yes,
Okay.
and she was badgering me for a long time. But this was like after high school, once I'd gotten into college, and she was just like, have you seen this show? Because if you haven't, you need to stop everything that you're doing in your life right now, including schoolwork. I don't care if you fail out of college. You need to take the time to watch this show. And, I was just like, yeah, I'll get to it. Cat videos on YouTube. And
There's only
schoolwork.
so many hours in a day.
Yeah, exactly. But I finally did sit down to watch it. And again, I just instantly fell in love with it, fell in love with the character, the story, everything about it.
This is the reboot that you...
This is the reboot. I have not gotten the chance to watch any old Who yet.
I haven't seen any of them.
To each
Eventually, I'll get to it, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
I think I felt very it felt very daunting. It's been like, what, 20 some odd seasons or something? And I'm like, do I need to start from the beginning?
Well, that's what I asked her. I did some research and I was like, Becky, the show goes back all the way to like 1964. That was the year my mom was born. Like, what?
I'm not going to understand any of it.
Yeah, and she's like, no, it's okay. You don't have to watch old Who. You can if you want to, but you can watch the rebooted version, and you'll be okay.
Okay.
You won't miss too much. So.
All right. One of these days, I'll get to it. Once they'll get to a point where they will have canceled all of the shows that I watch.
And then you literally have no other choice.
Exactly.
You're
I
like,
will.
well, guess I'll start
All right.
Doctor Who now. I got the time. So yeah, I would definitely say I'm part of that fandom. I love it. Definitely got my mom into it.
Cool.
I was like, Mom, you have to watch this show. It's the best ever. And my boyfriend as well. He knew about it and had seen like a few episodes here and there, and I was like, unacceptable. We're marathoning through this now. So got him, not that I got him into it, but I got him to finally watch all
Right.
the relevant episodes. So that is definitely a fandom I am part of and proud of. And then for number 3, this is another show, and this is one I actually bonded with my family over. It's called Supernatural. It's a fantastic show.
I haven't watched that one either.
Oh,
Everybody keeps telling me. It's like, oh, wait, so far I'm like, 3 for 3. Jeez.
It's
Everybody keeps telling me that it's really great.
Oh, it's so fantastic. And I mean, they're going on season 11. I think they just finished
Wow.
season 10.
Really? It's been on that long?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm thinking it's like 4 or 5 years, maybe.
No, it's been on for about 10 years
Now, what's the premise behind the show?
So the premise behind the show is that there are these two brothers, Sam and Dean Winchester, and they actually grow up with their father, who is he's a hunter. He hunts all things supernatural. We're talking demons, werewolves, vampires, anything that is, bringing harm to the human race. He goes after and he hunts. And I don't want to delve too deeply into their backstory to avoid spoilers for
I got it.
anyone. So, they grow up, they get involved in the family business. They become hunters themselves.
Okay.
And it's pretty much just 10 seasons of their supernatural hunting shenanigans.
Oh, okay.
But it's so good, and the character development is beautiful. That's what I mean. I love it for the myth and the lore. I mean, you got to get these supernatural creatures from somewhere.
Right.
So the writers do delve into different mythological creatures that are prevalent in lore from old.
Days of yore.
And and just watching these two brothers grow up and the trials and tribulations that they face, but also, I mean, it's not all, thunderclouds and sad faces. And there are some episodes that are just truly comedic and hilarious.
Oh.
There are some people get their happy endings.
Yeah.
Well, not very often, but it does happen. But it's just such a good show. I could go on forever about it. Also, it doesn't hurt that the 3 main male characters are, eye candy.
Yeah, that's what I hear most about it. Like Jared Padalecki?
Jared Padalecki.
Padalecki?
Yeah. Oh, and his beautiful flowing, luscious long locks. Yes.
Yes, I hear they have a lot of fans.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 4.
Number 4, this one goes back to, again, my teenage years. I'm almost positive it first aired around 2004, 2005-ish. Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is an animated series.
Okay, the series. I thought,
Yes.
was there a movie?
There was.
And I know that a lot of you people, I know a lot of you guys who love the animated series hated the movie.
I didn't even watch it.
It was like M. Night Shyamalan had shat upon your childhood.
Essentially, yeah.
That's what I hear.
That's what I heard too. And I mean, when they first said they were making a movie about it, I was very excited. And then I heard M. Night Shyamalan was the director, and then I was less excited about it. And then it came out, and I think I was just worried about it just ruining everything that I didn't initially go see it. And then, of course, once everyone got to see it, all the reviews are coming out. Everyone's just like, this is terrible.
Oh.
And I've seen, condensed versions of it. Not like the full movie, but someone going through it and reviewing it.
Oh.
And that
everything wrong with.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly what I watched, is everything wrong with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I love those those videos.
They're the best. But yeah, I watched that, and my heart broke into a million pieces. I was like, I can never watch this movie.
That's how I felt. Psycho was my favorite movie ever, and then when Gus Van Sant did the remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn and Anne Hesh. And,
that just sounds weird.
Right? I saw it, and I'm like, this is bullshit. I was so upset. So, the Last Bender, or Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
Okay, this is an animated series.
Yes.
Is it still on, or?
It is not still on. It spanned 3 seasons, but each season had, 20 some odd episodes.
Oh, really?
In it. Yeah, it's a very drawn out story, and again, I'm like a sucker for character development. I just love good character development, and that is what you see with these characters going through. It's definitely a coming of age story. You have the main character, Aang, who's the Avatar, and he, at this point in his life as like a 12-year-old kid, and the weight of the world is on his shoulders. There's a war going on that he's destined to stop, and he's just like, what am I supposed to do? I'm 12. And just watching him go on this journey with his friends and just growing into himself as Aang, as just a person, an airbender, but also as the Avatar.
Okay.
And beautiful illustration, beautiful scenery, the music, it's just, everything about it's fantastic. And they actually created a spin-off show, Avatar, The Legend of Korra, which is like set in the future. We've now moved on to the next Avatar in the cycle.
Oh.
Like, Aang's time is over, and now it's this new Avatar's time, and I, again, was super excited about it. Loved everything about that show. So I'm Avatar into, like, Legend of Korra, just that whole...
Gotcha.
It's all the same thing, so I'm just mushing it together. Definitely big fan of
Excluding the movie.
Excluding the movie. I don't even want to remember that's a real thing in life. Oh.
All right, number 5.
Number 5, I would have to say BBC's Sherlock.
That I have seen.
Yes!
And I love it.
Yes! Isn't it fantastic?
Absolutely love it.
Oh, God.
I cannot wait for, like, I can't wait for it to come back.
Yes.
It's like, was it like 4 years in between the two? Like,
Usually,
they give you like 8 hours worth of content, and then it's like, all right, see you guys in a few years.
Yeah,
Like,
see you in 2020.
like, what?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Oh, my God, I know.
Yeah, I had no idea that, I would love it so much. Like, that's just it's such good writing, and the acting,
yes.
like, between Cumberbatch
Yes.
and Martin Freeman.
Yes.
Like, I love those guys. They're just...
They do.
so
They're a
good.
perfect Sherlock and Watson. They just have that... Just the relationship between them
Yeah.
is it's so great. Because it's hilarious, but you do see that they clearly care for each other. And obviously Sherlock's like distant personality is like, what is love?
Right.
You know, you can't show emotion.
Right.
But you see those moments where his love for, his doctor, and that's what makes every fangirl's like heartbreaking in a million pieces.
And then to mention the guy who played Moriarty. He's so good.
He is so good.
So good. Like, that's actually my dog's name is Professor Moriarty. That's
That's amazing.
And that actor.
Andrew Scott, I believe his name is.
Like, I've never like it's
A
just
more
brilliant
perfect portrayal of Moriarty.
Absolutely brilliant.
It is.
And I just can't wait.
I also really, really enjoy the cinematography.
Oh yeah.
Of Sherlock.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
so beautifully shot.
It is.
Yeah, it's such a good show.
So yeah, I'm definitely part of that fandom.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's only like probably like a total of 10 episodes or something. It's not that much.
Yeah,
like
9,
each episode is probably 2 hours.
Yeah, they're about an hour and a half long, 3 episodes per season.
I think we had like gotten in like halfway through before I realized these episodes are really long.
I did the same thing my very first time sitting down and watching it, and I'm just like, it comes to a point where I think it's gonna end, and then it keeps going, and I'm like, what the heck? And then you look at like the time that's left below, and I was like, holy crap, there's still 45 minutes left. What?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, okay, good, because man, if that was gonna end there with that cliffhanger, I was gonna be so upset.
So cool. All right, so at least I managed to know of one on your list.
1 point.
All right, so mine are probably very age telling, if anything.
Which means I'm not gonna know anything about them.
You'll probably know the name. Oh, I've heard of that. I think my mom watched that at some point. Okay, the first, I'm just going to mush Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel together as one fandom. That's when I moved here to Pittsburgh, and it was I moved in with my roommate, and they were all about it. Like, I saw the movie, hated the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I forget when that even came out, but So I was like, oh, this show, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be ridiculous. Whatever. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then the girl I moved in with, like, she was all about it, and that's like that was their thing. I was like, oh my god, Bob, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. You're gonna love it. I swear you're gonna love it. I'm like, I doubt it.
Yeah.
And it was probably like when I moved here, Buffy was probably in its 3rd season, and at that time we would use a VCR to record TV.
VCR? What?
We couldn't watch things like on demand and instantly. We either had to be home to watch
A
it.
video home system?
A video recording.
VHS?
Yes, a video home system service. Whatever it is. Yes.
The things you actually had to rewind.
Exactly. Be kind and rewind. So yeah, so it was in its 3rd season. And they're like, I know how we're going to get you to watch this. And they showed me the episode with Spike. Introduced Spike, and I'm like, oh, hello.
What's your name?
I like this one. What's this? From then on, like, and they showed me all the rest of them, and I love, like, Joss Whedon. I love the way he writes, and I love the fact that, you know, even though it's heartbreaking, he will snatch away one of your favorite characters in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I've heard that about him.
But yeah, like Buffy, and I will like still go through this day and like rewatch like the entire series like ever so often and just like
that's actually on my list of series that I need to watch.
You've never seen it?
No.
Not even an episode or
No.
Wow.
I know. I'm bad.
Wow.
Please don't kick me out of your home.
Wow. It's okay because I have a couple other friends that, you know, one of my friends, she just started watching it on Netflix. Like she just finished, I think, the first 2 seasons. And I'm just like, would you hurry up? Like,
I want to talk to you about things.
I know, and I can't
without
take it
spoiling.
anymore. The musical episode. You haven't seen the musical yet.
Yeah. My boyfriend's roommate and his girlfriend are actually kind of, I'm sure they've already seen it, but they're marathoning through Buffy on Netflix, and
Gotcha.
I always walk in on them watching it, and I'm just like, one of these days I'm going to sit down and I'm going to freaking watch this show, because I've heard so many good things about it, and again, I've gotten yelled at by numerous people for never having watched it, so.
And it's just...
Un-American? I know, that's what I've been told.
No, I guess, I was still trying to figure in your age. Like, you were still very young.
Yeah,
like,
I mean...
Like, seriously, very young.
My sister was big on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I remember at that age, I was like, what? Real TV sucks. It's all about cartoons, man. Dexter's Lab is where it's at.
Exactly.
So, you know, no interest in it at that age.
Yeah, I mean, I'll totally give you a pass on that one, because it's like, that's a commitment. I feel like by the time you got to an age where you could appreciate it, like, it's already over. There's like, 8 seasons, and like, no, you can't just go dive into it. But when you do start, please, like, that first season is a struggle to get through.
Really?
It's kind of klutzy, and, you know, it's cute, but it's never, it gets so much better. So much better. Because it's to the point where I didn't even own the first season on DVD for the longest time. I was like, meh, I'm okay.
I don't need this.
I'm not sure if this is actually considered a fandom, but I am a big fan of the Peanuts gang. Like
Charlie
anything,
Brown?
yes, anything like Peanuts and Charlie Brown, like I am all over it.
I think
like,
you can make a fandom out of anything. You just get enough people who like the same thing.
And I'm pretty sure we got that. We got the numbers.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, the Peanuts gang has been around for a very long time.
Yes. So like that's just it's just like it immediately gives me like, you know, just, you know, random things just kind of sticking around. I was like,
Charlie Brown pencils.
Target is doing like this campaign now where they've like there's Charlie Brown and Snoopy like all over the store right now and stuff, and I like walked in one day and I'm like
I can't handle this.
I know it. Oh my god.
I don't have the money to deal with this right now.
I'm like texting my husband, send help. You can't let me be in here.
An adult.
I can't be trusted. I cannot be trusted.
That's like me in Barnes and Noble.
Oh yeah. It's tough. So yeah, with the Peanuts, when I was little, I was probably like 4. They were showing the, you know, the specials, like the Christmas one and all that stuff on TV at that time. And my mom told me that I would cry when it would go over. And I'd be like, oh, I missed it. But it's like, even though you watched it from the very beginning, you would still cry when it was done. And before my sister was born, I was an only child. And she said, those were my imaginary friends. It was like Linus and Lucy
Aw.
and Snoopy and all that. So that's where that starts. And it just it just gives me a happy, like, every time I see anything
That's good though.
Peanuts related. And then to put it completely on the opposite side of the spectrum, Walking Dead.
Oh man.
Have you not watched that?
No.
Okay, you know what? This one I can't really excuse.
You're gonna have to leave now. Goodbye.
I've had enough.
You've broken my heart enough today. Please leave the premises.
Are you just not into zombies? Or, I mean, are you just not into
Absolutely.
awesome? No. Do you just hate?
Do you just hate
Good.
all that's good in this world? Actually, yes, I do. No, oh God, I don't know why I've not gotten around to this. It's one of those shows where it's like you hear so many good things about it. Freaking who doesn't like zombies, honestly, and especially coming from, Pittsburgh.
Right. Zombie capital of the
Zombie
USA.
capital, yeah, of the US, I don't know how. I think because a lot of times what happens, at least with like the newer shows like The Walking Dead, when it first came on and was first popular, I was still in school, busy.
There's no time.
Yeah, no time. I'm trying to graduate.
That's understandable. I was well settled into married life by then, so I was like, I got nothing to do.
So you hear this, and it's just like, oh my God, this show sounds great. And when I actually have free time, I am going to sit down and watch it.
Right.
And it just kept going. More time kept passing, and so now it's just it's on it's fourth season.
I want to say fourth, but they keep splitting the seasons in half. So like, I
Okay.
feel like the show's been on for 8 years, but it's only like 3 seasons. So it's
Season
just like
4.1.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like they're doing it really weird. So I don't remember if this was the end of a season when it went over in May or before then. And the next season starts up in October usually.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, and I just because I didn't really have a thing about it was zombies. It was just like I wasn't ever really like drawn to them. And only reason why I watched it because I think it premiered around Halloween time, and
Okay.
I love like scary movies around Halloween especially.
It's the
And so I
best.
was like, sure, let's watch this. And then I was like totally into it. It's like, that shit was awesome. Like that first episode, I'm like, that's awesome. And so I just started reading the graphic novels.
Oh, okay.
And that's getting crazy too.
Yeah, Walking Dead again is definitely on my list of
So
things.
yeah.
that
So like I'm on
have to
volume
watch.
2 or volume 4 of the graphic novels, and shout out to Stu and Chuck at House of the Dead.
Yes.
I'll be back soon. I'll be in soon to pick up more copies. To pick up my next issues.
And that's nice. All you gotta do is walk down the street.
Exactly. And okay, so number 4 is the TV show Psych. It was on USA, and I don't really, if you haven't seen it, that's fine, because most people they haven't. And
I've actually seen a couple episodes, and the few episodes that I have seen, I loved.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious, and my brother-in-law is obsessed with that show. So again, when I get the time to sit down and
Yes.
like marathon through it, he has all the seasons on DVD.
Awesome.
I'll
Yes.
just be like, "Hey, man,
Slide them
wanna-
on over this way.
want to hook a sister-in-law up?" Yeah, you do. Thanks.
Yeah, my husband. That's like our. Sometimes the show that you go to sleep to. So we'll like put on an episode before we go to bed and just like fall asleep to it. But I think that if I'm recalling correctly, either I threatened to do it or I actually did it. But in my wedding vows, I told my husband, like, you are the Sean to my Gus.
Aw.
Because it's so true. And it's just like everything, all of their situations that go, it's just so funny. And it's just so
Yeah.
perfect. I was like, that is absolutely like, that would be us. Like, that would be me running away, screaming, crying.
That is so great when you could just incorporate like real life into
Yes.
your TV shows. Shout out to Psych and my wedding vows.
Exactly, right? That's awesome.
That's when you know it's a good show. Someone references them in their wedding vows.
Exactly. You guys did great. Thanks, James Roday and Dule Hill. You guys are awesome. And lastly, Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was little, I used to watch the TV show and, obviously do the spin around every time she did it. I haven't read like a lot of the comics. I've read a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm just now like really starting to get into like reading comics.
Yeah.
Because I was last year I was getting like a bunch of freebies, bunch swag from Dark Horse Comics.
Okay.
So you know, that's kind of what like, okay, I can get into this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Wonder Woman is like that's another thing that's like I'm all into just about anything with a Wonder Woman t-shirt. I've got like a cool Wonder Woman wallet that's got like the little the wristband, like the gold bracelet.
So cool.
So that's just really fun for me. And those are my fandoms.
I mean, yeah, Wonder Woman's freaking awesome. She was like Chatham's like number 3 mascot.
Nice.
Because obviously it's like the Chatham Cougars, you know, you have to have like some sort of animal related mascot when you go to college. I don't know why, but then because
I'm not sure.
Chatham was a all female undergraduate, the co-eds, the graduate school's co-ed, but undergrad was women. And so Rosie the Riveter, I always felt was like Chatham's unofficial like second mascot.
Exactly.
She was everywhere. And she was on everything, and I feel like Wonder Woman was like third behind her. 'Cause, you know, it's all about, you know, like woman
Female
power. Yeah, female power.
I wonder who the original Rosie the Riveter was. Like, somebody had to have posed for that.
I'm sure.
I wonder who drew that.
And I'm sure
what is
that was like a random tidbit of information that was passed along at one of my orientations.
Right, it was in your welcome packet.
Probably, to be honest.
All right, so now let's move along to your random question.
I'm
4,000 questions for getting to know anyone and everyone.
Oh, man. I'm slightly nervous, but also kind of excited about this question.
Some of these can get really weird.
That's why I'm nervous about it.
All right. What would it take for you to give up all your worldly possessions?
All my worldly possessions. Would it... can we define giving up? Like...
let's say...
Can we also would that also span like
you're not gonna be
my worldly possessions?
Selling or that's tough.
That is
no,
tough.
no, we're not going to let you. I'm not going to allow you to profit from it.
Worldly possessions for profit. That's I feel like
you can keep the clothes on your back.
Okay.
And you'll have a roof to sleep under, but you
Okay.
just won't have any things.
Any things? I think if giving up all of my worldly possessions allowed me to travel the world for free, I would absolutely, in a heartbeat, be
That's a good
you know
reason.
what? I don't need my book collection.
Right, I'm gonna go make some new stories.
Actually, please keep that in storage. I might come back for that. I really do enjoy my books, but for now, you can have them.
Well, that's a good reason. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay, we have come to the end of our hour. We actually went over a little bit.
Oops.
That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. This means we're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So I very much enjoyed having you on, and
Yes,
I
thank
enjoyed
you
talking
again
to you and
for
getting to know
having
you.
me.
Now I will have a little more idea of. I feel like you're more than just a team name now.
Yeah.
You guys, I know you.
Yeah.
We're cool, and I'm serious about getting you back on. You tell me your list, send me your.
I'm 100% okay with that.
All right, excellent, and then we will talk about one of your homework movies.
I have to find said list, though.
I'm sure at this point I'll probably just point you at my DVD collection. You're like, oh yeah, all of these were pretty much on.
Yeah.
No, sell that one. All of these were on here.
Let's see. I think I've seen these 3, so everything else is fair game.
All right, cool. And if I guess if you don't find it, we'll just default Lost Boys.
Yeah. That works for me.
All right, cool. So where can everybody find like your stuff? Are your Falling October Productions? You have a website. You guys are all on YouTube.
We
Facebook.
are on YouTube.
Where's your videos?
All our videos are on the YouTube. Falling October Productions. We are on Facebook. Again, you can just search Falling October Productions. We're there. We do have a website, and it is crazily enough, Falling October Productions.
It's weird. When did you guys come up with that?
.com. I don't know what made us think of that domain name, but you know, we're also on Twitter. We don't really follow up with that a whole lot, but
Yeah.
we're there. You know,
We're there, just lurking.
we're there
looming.
lurking. You know, we tweet things every now and again.
Do you tweet personally? Are you a tweeter? Do you vlog?
Yes. I do not vlog. I am too socially awkward for that. I would like to get into vlogging actually. I just have to get the courage to do so.
Yeah, word to that. So what's your Twitter handle?
Twitter handle is it's my name. It's Lindsay _E_Edder.
Okay.
Really, you can just search Lindsay Edder on Twitter. It'd be a whole lot easier. Lindsay spelled with a Y and an A.
All right. So there it is. You know where to find her. You know where to go and check out Falling October Productions videos, particularly Batman
Drunk Dial
Superman, which I will most definitely be looking for shortly. And yeah, you can also make sure to follow me, _Rugged Angel at Twitter, and like Rugged Angel Productions on Facebook. Until next time. This has been a Rugged Angel production.